But we talked about and discussed the situation and the way the United States supports Ukraine and the European Union. And what about the Israel? Because this country has always been, hesitating in what they should do, and they got elections. What's happening in this country?
Well, frankly speaking, Volodymyr, when talking about Israel, this country was a little bit distant from what's happening in Ukraine. Well, they said they support us, but their support was not that big enough for us. But they had parliament elections on Tuesday. Will this election, be able to change something, in the support they are giving to Ukraine? This and more in our digest.
Fifth time in 4 years, Israelis have made their choice. 3 candidates fought for the post of prime minister: incumbent Yair Lapid, Benjamin Netanyahu and Benny Gantz. Despite the previous government, which included parts belonging to different directories, united to overthrow Benjamin Netanyahu, it barely lasted for a year and a half. He left his post and the country with its worst eco-environment in years, a separate large budget deficit and high unemployment. In the summer, the polls showed that the economy is the only thing that most of Israel cares about.
In my opinion, it's already crosses the red line, because it's the 5th time we're going to vote, and time after time, I feel like we're some kind of tangled in this way of politicians playing with all their cards that they have, and in the end, eventually, the people who got hurt from the most, it's us. And I feel like also the financial status of the country also got harmed.
Unfortunately, again, it's going to be exactly the same result: 60-60, maybe 61-59 to one of the blocks, but that's not going to be a stable government. So sadly, we're probably going to go into another one in a few months, 6 months to 9 months, and that's the situation now in Israel.
Israel's policy towards Ukraine has long been stagnant. The world criticized official Jerusalem for the lack of proper assistance to Ukraine until Iran transferred kamikaze drones to Russia. Only after that, Minister of Diaspora Affairs Nachman Shai made a publication calling to change the country's policies in this war. Local Israelis often say that Iran's core program builds on Russian developments and are also surprised by the inaction of the authorities. The official Tehran is also a threat for Israel. Despite this fact, the Ukrainian issue is almost absent in party election programs. Only Netanyahu says that if he becomes prime minister again, he will look at what can be done, but he also does not make specific promises. According to the Israeli media, for now the opponents couldn't get more support than Netanyahu. He will sit in the prime minister's chair one more time. According to estimates by a number of Israeli financial institutions, 5 elections in less than 4 years cost the treasury more than $4 billion. According to estimates by a number of Israeli financial institutions, 5 elections in less than 4 years cost the treasury more than $4 billion.
So, Volodymyr, I hope after these parliament elections in Israel, Israel will turn closer to Ukraine, because in order to win this war, we need more help, and not even from the United States of America or Great Britain or Europe in general, but also from these parts of the world like Israel.